I was honored and, flattered to be considered. The United States Senate and anything beyond that politically was never in my plan. It was a, interesting couple of weeks, but, now I'm back focused on doing my job as a U.S. Senator, and in any extra time I have, I'm going to be focused on the election. The the contrast between Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and Donald Trump and J.D. Vance could not be more clear. And this is without a doubt, and I know we say this a lot, that this is the most important election of our lifetimes. I don't expect we will be saying that 4 years from now. I think really this is it. That there are so many reasons.
Assuming that there is a Harris administration moving forward, what role do you see for yourself in a possible administration in terms of maybe joining that administration, and ultimately what the Senate agenda looks like, presuming Democrats maintain the majority?
Well, yeah, I mean that's the key. Win the White House, maintain the majority in the United States Senate, win back the House of Representatives, win here in Arizona the State House, State Senate, to make sure that Katie Hobbs has a legislature that she can work with. So that's the goal. After that, my focus is going to be to do my job as a United States Senator to the best of my ability. And I am focused on that today, tomorrow, and I'll be focused on that after the election.
Would you consider any offers?
It's not something I've given any thought to. I take my job here in the Senate incredibly seriously. This job is much more important than any job I had previously, whether it was in the Navy or at NASA as the pilot or commander of the space shuttle. The stuff that I work on and my office works on every single day affects the lives of millions of Arizonans and hundreds of millions of Americans. So that's going to be my focus.
What does the agenda look like in a Harris administration with a Democratic Senate? There's been talk about, in the current administration, about judicial reform for the Supreme Court, for example, and you just talked about Senator McConnell's emphasis on judiciary appointments. What is possible next year that feels like it hasn't gotten done now?
Well, I think with President Harris and Democratic control of the Senate and the House, there's a lot of stuff we've got to move forward on, and we've got to undo some of the damage that Donald Trump did with his Supreme Court appointments that resulted in the Dobbs decision that took away what I think is a very fundamental right for millions, tens, if not hundreds of millions of American women to be able to, legislate a right for a woman to make her own healthcare decisions is critical to the future of our country. I mean, my daughters have fewer rights than my mother or grandmother did, and that's just not right. And I know that the Vice President is going to focus on this. She talks about it. But then it's, how do we strengthen the alliances that we currently have? Joe Biden has done a fantastic job in Europe, along with the help of his Vice President, to make sure that we have a coalition of NATO countries that are willing to support Ukraine against this illegal invasion. I was with Vice President Harris when she was in Munich about a year and a half ago, speaking to our allies, our NATO allies, about the importance of our leadership of our country in Europe during this crucial time.